morning. It is Tuesday, I think. The Tuesday before New Year's. When is New Year's? Thursday. So it's like a couple days before 2020 ends. I'm not sure of the date. 28th maybe? 28? 29 maybe? I don't know. Let's see if I have something on here. Oh, 28th. It says it on my iPad. Okay, so today's December 28th, 2020. Okay, so I'm using a reference photo of the ice skating in Central Park from a long time ago. It's an old photo I found online. So I want to do that, and then I want to put some people in it, okay? So we'll see how that goes. And let's begin. Did I say it was going to be ice skating? Yeah, ice skating in Central Park from a long time ago. It's not, I don't think it's the Wallop. What is it called? The Wallop or Wallum? I don't think it's that one, but anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, I had to speed it up. It took about an hour and a half to do the picture, and I did record it in real time, but I thought I would speed it up to make it a little less boring. What I'm doing right here is I was illustrating the color wheel only so that I could, for those who don't know about complementary colors, you could see that a complementary color is just the opposite on the color wheel. So blue would be orange, for example. And even though most of this picture was going to be ice, which would be white, I thought I would make it blue. All right, so today is actually Monday, December 28th. I said it was Tuesday, December 28th, which wouldn't make sense. What I'm doing there is I put down the orange, which is the complementary or opposite color of blue, because I imagine that even though it's going to be a white ice, that's going to have a bluishness to it. And then I spread it out with alcohol, rubbing alcohol, just kind of brushed it in. And that gave me a background to use that would be opposite of what the colors were, more or less, that I was going to put down. What I am attempting to do in this drawing or painting is to create a scene, an ice skating scene. And I had Googled ice skating in Central Park. But I believe the picture I'm using, and that's it in the little picture right there, the inset picture, that's actually lull water, which is a body of water, I think. I'm not really sure. This is in Prospect Park, which would be in Brooklyn, and it's in 1892. But none of that mattered to me. I just wanted to have an ice skating rink that looked old-ish, even though this wasn't really a rink. This was just frozen water, and I wanted to do. I wanted to imagine what it would look like if Jamie and Claire were ice skating in that era. And Jamie and Claire, if you're not familiar with it, they are two characters from the TV show called Outlander. Robin and I have been watching Outlander a lot lately, and just really like it a lot. And so those two characters kind of intrigue me and intrigue Robin, and so I thought I would put them in a fictional setting. I couldn't find any place. I didn't really look that hard, and there might be a place, but I couldn't find any place on the TV show website or the YouTube videos that people upload that showed them ice skating, or even dancing for that matter, aside from Jamie doing the sword dance. And there's probably others, but anyway, so I just kind of imagined what it would look like, and the challenge was to capture their likeness. And I'd be wrong to say I did, but I tried. I tried to capture their likeness a little bit anyway. So in order to do that, I had to use a finer point So the pastels were sharpened. Right there I'm using a pastel pencil, which I brought to a finer point with a razor blade. And basically I'm just sketching the two of them ice skating, holding on to one another. And I didn't want them to look like they were really skilled skaters. I just figured they were out skating like most of us would do, just giving it a shot. And so that's my rough sketch of Jamie and Claire, with a bridge in the background. There's a bridge over the water similar in Central Park, which is why I thought I was sketching something from Central Park, but it says Prospect Park on the old photo. So I did use a reference photo for their faces, even though this is in no way a portrait in any way, but just to get a likeness of them, sort of, kind of. And I'm not really that familiar with the period clothing, so it's it wasn't even necessary, because this was a silhouette of them ice skating or dancing on the ice, I guess you might say. It's a really beautiful show, really beautiful, romantic love story between the two of them. So the actors and actresses, nobody likes the word actresses anymore, the actors and the director and everybody, they really do a wonderful job. One of the things I liked in the TV show Game of Thrones, which this show does also, but I think Game of Thrones might have done it more dramatically, was the lighting. I just love the lighting in Game of Thrones, and a lot of these shows that I tend to like, I notice the lighting, because lighting is so important in art. And so at this point, there's no lighting at all. In fact, there's not going to be much lighting in this by the time I'm done with it. I didn't do a whole lot because, well, quite frankly, you have ice. There's not a whole lot of shadows on ice. There's not a whole lot of reflections even on ice. So it is what it is. So you can see how I'm using the underpainting, the orange, to complement the colors that I put on later. I did use some fixative spray a couple of times to hold down the previously laid down colors. It gave it fixed it, first of all, to the paper, but it also gave it a little more texture. This is, let's see what this paper is. This is 11 by 14 Strathmore pastel paper. It is textured. You could get paper that is more textured, but again, you could treat the paper yourself with gesso or with anything. And even the fixative spray textures it a little bit. So a little background to the composition itself. I knew I wanted to do this, but there was no reference photo for the whole composition, just for the ice skating and, of course, for their faces. The what I wanted to say was the oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. I know what I was going to say. Okay, so in order to kind of practice this, to understand what I wanted to do and to create some kind of a composition, I used my iPad with the Procreate app, and I sketched it out first on that, and I played with it a little bit so that I knew where I wanted to place them, the two main characters here, where I wanted, how large I wanted them, how close to the camera I wanted them. I experimented with a couple of things. I had them even really close so that you couldn't see their bodies, just their faces, and it kind of ruined it. You could see their faces better, but it's not necessary. I think the feeling is more important than the likeness in this particular case. The picture, as you can see in the reference photo of the park, has snow on the ground in the background. I think this is probably Brooklyn, which is my best guess. And in whatever I said, it was 1892. Let me look. I have it written down over here. Anyway, back then there were not that many tall buildings, really. Yeah, 1892. So there weren't really that many tall buildings. And in Brooklyn, anyway, Brooklyn doesn't have. Well, now it's got a few tall buildings, but even when I was a kid, there weren't very many. That little piece right there that looked like I turned a page, that was because I stopped the camera and got up to get more coffee. And one thing it did by getting up and then coming back was it gave me a chance to see that I had rendered them in brown, which wasn't really looking good to me. It made more sense since the picture had a lot of blue in it. It made more sense to render them in dark blue. So that's what I did. And here's the cool thing. The brown undercoat, which is over the orange undercoat, kind of makes them have a little bit of a glow to them, which I kind of like. So right here, I'm just kind of roughing in other people that might be skating at the same time. I didn't take a whole lot of caution or care to make them look like really identifiable people. Just the sense that there are other people on the ice with them skating. And that's that. Now, I don't have their likenesses yet. I'm not happy with the likenesses that I have right there. But as I'm looking at it now, I'm kind of thinking I should have just left it like that. Although you'll see in a little bit that some of the highlights do improve the likeness of Claire and Jamie. But I used to do sketches of people, little quick portraits at the local Hilton Hotel. I used to sit in the lobby and make money that way. And I was pretty good at capturing a likeness. But those likenesses those drawings were probably 6 inches across the face area. A little bigger than this. This is about the size of my thumb, each of their faces, each of their heads. So, and I did go to colored pencil. I tried it. I kind of wish I hadn't, because it left a very slick surface, and I couldn't do a whole lot more with the pastels afterwards. But that was an idea I had, was to, only because the pencils have it's more able to have a very fine point to them. And I could have used some hard pastel, but, well, I didn't. That's the bottom line. I just didn't. So you can see right here, I'm trying really hard to mold their faces to look like them. I don't think I did. I don't think I got that quite. However, I also don't think I got Jamie quite. I think he's the actor himself is the taller guy that I have here. But anyway, so that's what I have. I did speak the whole time, pretty much, as I was doing this. But again, I speeded it up, so that would be unlistenable. Okay, so you can see the white lines on the sides of their clothing. That's supposed to be where the light is hitting them. I ended up not keeping it like that. I smudged it out. I used the blending stump to smooth that out and get rid of it. There we go. And then I wasn't really happy even with white being the highlight, so I went with orange. I think that worked out pretty good. You'll see in a second. You can see they're wearing skates now. I kind of really roughed it in and left it rough. I didn't think it needed to be photographic, just painterly, as they say. And as I observed the picture, I started thinking, well, there's the orange to give it a little bit of warmth, I guess, on the side of their clothing and their faces that would have the sunlight hitting them. And then I added some warmth to other areas of the picture. That's what I did right there, just because it would obviously make sense if the sun was shining down on them. It would be shining down on everything in the area. And then, because I just wanted to have another complementary thing going on, I added some violet or purple to kind kind of bring it all together, I guess, is what happened there. Let's see. Oh, this is white. This is me adding a little bit more white, just because some of the snow and the ice look had been lost. And then you'll see, I add the violet that I was talking about. Violet is very cool. It's a very, very cool color. And it helps to imagine a painting is cool. I think that was blue. I must have added blue too. I forgot I did that. Is that the violet? That must be the violet, yeah. Yeah, you can see it. You can see how it kind of brings it together a little bit. All right. Well, that's that. You guys take care. Happy New Year, by the way. I'll talk to you when I do the next one.